Hey, happy Monday, everybody. Mark again here, WeatherMan Plus. Good morning to you. I wanted to wait for the updates this morning because what I see with the tropics is starting to get real concerning, and I will be doing a tropical update this afternoon as well, just to make sure we can stay on top of what I've been seeing. Now, what you see here this morning, everything that's in this red is a heat advisory. Everything that is in all this pink is an excessive heat warning, as well as all this blue. All this blue is a flood advisory or a flood watch. You also have a winter storm warning up here in the higher elevations of Montana and winter weather advisory. Matter of fact, I'm showing the next couple of days it could be a potential for almost 7 feet of snow. That's in the higher elevations, but that is a little crazy. Plus, all this yellow is some high wind warnings, and all this purple is a fire watch. So you need to watch out for red flag warnings and all of this purple. This is just for today. Plus, what we have down here in the tropics, Invest 92E, and we have disturbance 2, and we have the disturbance in the Caribbean, which has gone up to 30%. And I'm still showing that we have a potential storm or hurricane going into our Gulf. I will update you on everything. Now, there's a lot of things going on and a lot to go through for you guys, so I'm going to be a little quicker than normal. But please share this video or hit the like button. Help get the word out to everything that's going on with our local weather, because there's so much going on. We need to alert a lot of people. And remember, all this heat is moving more to the east for next week. Now, as we get towards 2 and 3 o'clock this afternoon, that's when a lot of this heat is really going to be at its worst potential. And a lot of these places, they had clouds all night long, so it really didn't cool down much. So you're already starting off in the 80s, and it's going to get to 90s and 100s today. But you can see by then up here in the northwest, you're going to remain nice and cool, while in the southwest, you are still cooking, as well as everything in the central plains. You're going to be very hot for today, and this is by 3 p.m. And this is not your heat index. This is only your temperatures. And remember, these temperatures are taken in the shade, and it will go all the way to the east coast, especially to the southeast. Some very hot temperatures today. That's why you have the heat advisories and warnings. So please prepare for all these hot temperatures that you have coming for today. And remember, by next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, these temperatures are going to raise back up and be extremely hot, and it will go all the way to the East Coast with even more hot temperatures. So this heat is not cooling down, so please prepare for very hot days coming, not just today. But I'll also put this link in the description for every single one of you, because there's so many people to cover in the whole country. So all you do is click on this link and click on your area. It will also bring you here to this page where you can see your heat advisories or whatever your warnings is, and for today's temperature forecast, as well as your heat index. This comes a little bit hotter when you have your heat index. It's not just going to be 97 in Marion. It's going to be 111 with the heat index. So just be aware, a lot of y'all are breaking your heat records with all this heat going on. So not just the heat, whatever warning you have, click on your area, scroll down, and you will see exactly what's going on from National Weather Service. The main thing I can say is please do not leave people or pets alone in your car, especially when it's closed up, because it'll be way worse. As y'all know, you don't need to lose somebody to some simple mistake. Watch your pets, watch your family. Don't leave them in your cars today. Plus, the severe weather is going all the way to Thursday. And today we have a big MCS, which is a big fancy word, mesoscale convective system, which means we have a bunch of different thunderstorms grouping up together to make one big system. And this is going to affect by the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley. And I'm seeing some very fierce winds, up to 80, maybe even 90 miles per hour wind gusts coming with it. But for today, we have a lot of severe weather, a lot of slight risk with it, with chances for tornadoes, wind, and hail. And the significant wind you see for today is where I see a lot of the high wind. And this will also carry into tomorrow for Tuesday. You have a lot of slight risk going on. You have chances for tornadoes, wind, and hail once again. Now, we'll be covering the tornado and wind threat for today, because I like to stay daily with the HRRR. It's the best information you can get on anything on your weather. So remember, if you want to see a little bit of ahead and see if you're in the warning for tomorrow or Wednesday or another day, click on the link in the description. I have all the links in there for all of you, and click on the tornado, wind, or hail, whatever it is you're looking for, and then just scroll down and you will see the cities at risk. That way you can stay up to date on tomorrow and the next day's weather. Now, this is carrying into Wednesday as well, and we do have a significant severe that's going on for Wednesday. So this is going to carry all the way to Tuesday, Wednesday, even Thursday. And Thursday, you have another 15% for eastern Ohio Valley and intercoastal Northeast. There's a lot of severe weather coming with this system, guys, and a lot of chances for tornadoes as well. And these storms are pretty much kicking off around 2 p.m. this afternoon. And you can see with the winds that it is bringing very fierce winds, 70, even 80 miles per hour wind gusts. Then as we go into tomorrow, right here by Montana, it's going to be 80, even 90 up in the higher elevations. And there's a lot of snowfall coming down with this as well. And higher resolution rapid refresh is showing that you'll get anywhere from 1 to 2 feet to up to 7 feet in the higher elevations of Montana. Also Idaho, northwestern Wyoming, higher elevations of Washington and Oregon will see snow as well and go into Canada. But the higher elevations of Montana, you're going to see up to 90 inches, which is over 7 feet. And this is high resolution rapid refresh. This is the best high resolution model you can use. Now these systems are going to form up today around 2 or 3 p.m. They have two good systems and it's going to create that big mesoscale that we're going to have, the big discussion. And right here you can see you're getting over 70 miles per hour wind gusts according to higher resolution rapid refresh. And as you go through the evening, it is going to continue to grow towards Michigan. And right there it is showing high 80s and 90 miles per hour wind gusts coming with this system. Big, strong system, a lot of damaging winds, and a lot of rainfall and chances for tornadoes coming with this system. And when you look at your dew points, which gives you your particulates in your atmosphere, which helps feed these thunderstorms, you can see you get into the high 70s. You even get into 80 right here for Illinois by 9 o'clock this morning. But this raises up all afternoon long and helps feed this system. And you can see how it starts to cool down as the storms blow through. But you're still going to be in high dew points with a lot of threat for tornadoes when that comes and damaging winds. So just be aware that this is going to be feeding the atmosphere. This is going to happen. It's not going to mild down. It's going to be a very crazy afternoon. And when you look at the instability of the CAPE, which shows you your lift in the area, which is your convective available potential energy, you can see how it goes way up into over 5,000 and 6,000 joules by this afternoon. And by 2 p.m., 3 p.m., it just carries into the whole afternoon long, just feeding this big line of thunderstorms that's going to be going through the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley. This is a lot of instability. There will be a lot of craziness tonight, so just be warned. Please stay home if you can. Stay cool from the heat, but this is going to be a lot of severe weather. And this is why I wanted to wait for the updates this morning, because this is the 10Z. It showed a lot of craziness on all the early ones. It even showed a lot of chances for Illinois. But the 10Z shows that right when you get around 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock, you're going to have some very serious cells passing through Wisconsin. And it is all covered in a lot of high winds, a lot of speed shear. But you are getting shear on these cells as it continues to pass through all evening long. So you got to watch out for tornadoes for western Wisconsin. Then as you go through the afternoon, you could have a sleeper cell, something that is almost like a tornado rain wrap. You can't see it. This is going to be wrapped in a lot of high winds. So all the shear is just crazy amounts of shear, a lot of high winds as this comes through. Then as it goes all evening long, it's going to push over the lakes and go into western Michigan by 5 p.m. this afternoon. Still strong, still bringing chances for a lot of chances for hail. That's what all that pink is indicative to, chances for hail. But it's all wrapped in the shear all evening long as that comes across. Then as you go into later tonight around 10 and 11 o'clock, then you start getting some cells that goes in front of this line, getting its own line of shear, and that could bring you chances for tornadoes as well. It's getting a lot of shear. But you can see the bowing out that comes in this storm. This is bringing a lot of damaging winds, especially all through southern Michigan. And as you go to 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, then it starts moving into Ohio. Look at a bowing out in that storm, and that is getting some shear on it as well. So you got to watch out for chances for tornadoes. When it's sleeper cells, you won't see it. It won't be like in the line of storms in front of it, getting the shear. It'll be in the shear, getting speed shear. All these winds will help it topple over itself to where you could get a chance for a tornado. It's all wrapped in all the high winds. So you're definitely getting a lot of high winds, and you definitely get a nasty system passing through. But you can see as you go through this morning, you have all these lines of thunderstorms, but they group up together. And this is what makes your mesoscale convective system go all evening long, very strong. And when you take a look at the 48-hour run of a high-resolution rapid refresh, it's a little bit different information because Illinois is in a warning. The 18-hour did not show much for Illinois. But when you look at the 48-hour, it shows a lot of cells coming through. You can see the bowing out in it for Wisconsin, as well as the purple that's going to be bringing all that hail. But the 48-hour shows not only with the damage and winds bowing all this out, it shows a lot of these cells will come through in front of the line, and you will get a lot of shear on these cells that's in front of the line. And that's where your tornado threat is going to come into play. When you have your front pushing through with all these high winds and you have these cells coming through in front of it, these are the ones that are getting sheared that you need to think about as far as a chance for tornadoes. You can see how they all getting sheared all in front of this line. These are the ones that are going to kick up your chances for tornadoes. So it does show on a 48-hour that it will go through northern Illinois, northern Indiana, and it will go through Ohio. But when you go to the latest run, it don't show all that. It shows everything's a little bit more northern and it's not going that far south until later, because we are on a high ridge going into a deep trough. So it would go a little bit higher, but they're still wrapped in all of this shear. So it could easily be a sleeper cell or two in there. You really need to watch out for tornadoes. And it looks like it really spreads out as it goes towards Ohio for this afternoon. Plus what we have in the tropics, it is starting to get kind of concerning what I've been seeing trending, guys. So if you've never been here before, make sure you subscribe. Make sure y'all hit that bell so you get that update on the tropics this afternoon. I will slow it down some. Not as much information when you're just covering the tropics. Now, disturbance 1, which is Invest 92E, it has moved up to 80% in the next 48 hours, 90% in the next 5 days. And disturbance 2 has gone up to 20% in the next 48 hours, 30% in the next 5 days. And this is going to gyro around this next disturbance that's coming through Central America. And that's what's going to affect the Yucatan. And then what's coming after that, when we have a big thinning out in this dust, could go to the Gulf. I will be honest with you, it's been trending a lot towards the north and northeastern of the Gulf on that system. But you can also see with the automated tropical cyclone forecast that all these are showing that this first one, the Invest 92E, will continue to go west, northwest. Not really any threats, although it is bringing a lot of rainfall from Mexico. And I do have links for y'all to zoom in, see your area, see what your wind gust is, see what your rainfall is. That way you know exactly what your town is getting. But you can also see with the wind that it is expected not only to be a high-end tropical storm, a lot of them is showing more than likely that it will be somewhat a low-grade hurricane. And that is what we're seeing in the GFS. The Euro not only is not picking up the warning that's going into the Western Caribbean that National Hurricane Center has put out, it's not even picking that up. It's bringing this as a tropical depression. And when you look at all the guidance members, it shows a strong tropical storm to maybe a weak hurricane. So I'm not showing the Euro is correct, and the Canadian is picking up the path as well. But you can see this here. This is your Euro, and the Euro doesn't pick up too much strength on Invest 92E at all. As a matter of fact, it even gets it down to upper level low for a minute, and then it goes west, northwest, a very weak system. And that is not what's showing in all the data. The data is showing that the GFS is actually correct on this system, and it will strengthen up to a strong tropical storm, maybe a low-end hurricane as it moves west, northwest. But you can see it's not really impacting anybody, as well as that next disturbance moving through Central America. It is still showing that it's going towards Belize, a possible high-end tropical storm, maybe right on the edge of a low-end hurricane. But I do have the link in the description for y'all all in Mexico, Yucatan, Central America, all of y'all. And you can zoom in. This right here is your wind gust. You can see all the main winds is going to be offshore. But you can zoom in to your town as close as you want and see what your impacts are as far as the wind and the rainfall. Because there will be a lot of rainfall, not just from the first system from Invest 92E. From that second system coming from Central America will go across the Yucatan and possibly into Mexico on your other end as well. But you can also see it is bringing a lot of rainfall. And this is only within the next 5 days. It's bringing over 3 to 5 inches, especially 5 inches for Acapulco. So just because it's not coming close to shore, don't mean you won't be getting effects, because there will be a lot of bands that will be revolving around counterclockwise, and it will affect you. As well as this next one, as it goes towards the Yucatan, then the next 10 days, it will be affecting the other side of Mexico as well. And you can see how it just adds up for a lot of people for a lot of rainfall. So please use those links. Please zoom into your town and see what you can expect and prepare the best way you can. Plus, we have this disturbance over here in the Western Caribbean going from Central America towards the Western Caribbean. It has gone up 30% in the next 5 days. And this is what the Euro is not picking up, but the Canadian and the GFS is as well. Now, this is not going towards the U.S. states, but what I'm showing is after we get that clearing of dust, there will be a clearing, a good clearing, before the next plume finally comes off. There is a chance for this storm to come to the northern Gulf, maybe even the northeastern Gulf of Mexico. Matter of fact, when we look at our potential velocity anomaly on our update, which shows us all our lift or all our sinking air in our area, you can see all the way from the 16th all the way towards the 18th and 19th. This is what's going towards Central America, towards the Yucatan, and back in towards Mexico. So what it does is it strengthens up before it goes over Yucatan, weakens down as it goes over land, strengthens up a little bit more as it goes into the southern half of the Bay of Campeche, then it goes into Mexico. At the same time, it is still picking up another wave coming through our Caribbean that will be around the 23rd all the way to the 26th and 27th. Another strong system. And this is the one that's been trending that is going into the Gulf of Mexico, guys. Now, when you look at your spaghetti models from the Euro, it shows you the possible cyclone locations of where things can go. You can see how it carries towards the Yucatan Peninsula a little bit, goes over into the Bay of Campeche, and the possible outcomes could be either towards Mexico, or it could head northern towards Texas, or maybe even towards Louisiana. Now, that's the first one. That's the first wave coming through. That's not the second one. Now, the GFS confirms that in 3 days, all these are going to bottle up, and it's going to start moving towards the Yucatan Peninsula, maybe a little northern, maybe a little southern. I still need to update you on the track on that. Either way, there's going to be impacts of rainfall, just maybe not with the winds on some, while others will be getting winds. Then after 5 days, when that crosses over to Yucatan, it can go over Mexico or go towards northern Mexico. And that has been the trend, that it will go more northern towards northern Mexico. But after that, the next energy that we have coming through shows it could go either towards Florida, towards Texas, or towards Louisiana. Now that is within a 10-day period, so please take this with a grain of salt until we get this a little more refined, but it's still showing that it has many chances to go into the Gulf. But when you take a look at our NASA satellite and see what our update is, you can see right here when you look at the dust coming through that all the precipitation stays suppressed to the west-southwest still. But when that next one forms up right over here over Central America, there's a little bit of an area open, and it does head a little bit more northern. And according to the NASA satellite, it shows it just forms up right before Belize and goes towards Belize with a lot of that precipitation right there on the eastern side of the Yucatan Peninsula. Then it shows it continues to go over, and it gets suppressed down towards Mexico, and then heads a little more northern right there towards northern Mexico. After it eventually gets off the Yucatan, I think it'll strengthen up just a little bit, then weaken right back down on landfall, bring a lot more precipitation to Mexico. Then it'll continue to head more northern towards northern Mexico and just spread out the rainfall. But not only that, is a lot of this dust starts thinning out as we get close towards the 22nd. That's about as far as we can see. And that's when this next wave comes potentially towards the Gulf. And that is what the Canadian model is showing. The Canadian model is showing that it will not be too strong of a threat for the Yucatan, that it will start to gain a little bit of strength after it passes, and it heads a little northern towards northern Mexico. Now that shows a very weak system, but it shows that it will be headed towards northern Mexico, maybe a little more northern. That could be southern Texas. Still too far away to be sure, guys. I just want to keep you updated as we go along. And as you can see with the Euro don't pick up anything. So even though National Hurricane Center has an outlook for this area, the Euro don't show it. And the GFS always overdoes it a little bit, just like the NAM does. But the GFS continues to take this right towards Belize. Now take the strength of it with a grain of salt. It is showing a weak hurricane, high-end tropical storm. But it is taking this towards Belize on the eastern side of the Yucatan, going into Mexico. And then it's just dying off, bring y'all a lot of rainfall. So as we take a look at that first system that's coming across the Yucatan, you can see in some models that it does cross the Yucatan, maybe a little weak, maybe a little strong. A lot of them is showing it. And it also shows it has the potential for it to strengthen up in a few of these as it goes towards Mexico. We even have a few that shows after it goes across the Yucatan that it could head northern and go straight towards northern Mexico, southern Texas, or even towards Louisiana. But as you look right here, this is your controlled member. This is your more than likely outcome. You can see it does strengthen up a little bit, and it does go towards northern Belize as a system. Weakens down right around the 19th, gets into the Bay of Campeche, and don't do much after that. And this is where it gets a little bit worrisome. The 6Z on the GFS not only shows that it goes towards the Yucatan, still showing the same path, still showing a strong tropical storm, a weak hurricane. As it goes across the Yucatan, still showing the same path, dies out the Bay of Campeche on the Bay of Campeche side of Mexico. But as we get that next system comes by, because the dust clears out, I'll show you the dust. It shows that it does form up around the 22nd, just like we saw in the 0Z. But after it forms up on the Western Caribbean on the 22nd, it gets a little thinning out of the dust. I will show you it does thin out, and it continues to head north. But we're still seeing that northwest curve. And so far, it shows somewhere around Louisiana. This could curve even earlier and be somewhere around Texas. I do not believe this will be a Florida threat. Even though it shows it in a few of the models, I believe this will be a little further west. And just like Farmer's Almanac been showing a potential tropical storm for the Texas-Louisiana coast. So I do believe this will go a little further west, but this is showing more and more true, guys. And this is where the concerning comes from. Let's just look at the controlled member. This is your 6Z. You can see that first wave still continues to show that it will go towards the Yucatan, somewhere around northern Belize. Still shows it go towards Mexico, and it does die out. But it is confirming that this will form up an upper level low right around the 22nd and start to strengthen. And it's showing almost the same thing that we are seeing in our 6Z this morning, just a little further west. And that right there is right where the Farmer's Almanac is talking about, the Texas-Louisiana coast. So that goes a little northern in the Gulf, where it would be affecting a lot more bigger cities for Texas. So I will keep you updated. I will do a tropical update this afternoon so we can stay on top of this. Make sure you hit that bell so you know when the video comes out. Because you can also see right here when you look at your whole tropical basin as we get that wave forming up and it goes towards the Yucatan. And you can see as it goes towards Belize, the Yucatan Peninsula, bringing a lot of heavy rainfall from Nicaragua, Honduras as well, that we do have this plume of dust right behind it. That's what's pushing all this west. But after that plume of dust, look how much everything starts thinning out, leaving a lot of vulnerable area for this tropical cyclone to form up. And this is by the 22nd. And it's predicting somewhere around the 22nd all the way to the 26th, it will form up. And our next big plume is not doing anything too severe. It's thinning out immediately before it comes off, before another one even tries to come off the coast of Africa. So we do have a big thinning period that will help this be a possibility. But remember, once again, I do have this link for your rainfall. Now, with the Ural, even though it's not showing the track, it is showing that there will be some rainfall in that direction. Now, the GFS, which is correct on the eastern Pacific side, is a little stronger than any other model. I'll be honest with you. GFS always overdoes it a little bit, but it is picking up a lot of rainfall, and most of it going towards northern Belize. Definitely the eastern side of the Yucatan Peninsula. Not much for Jamaica. We got some chances for Western Caribbean. So you can zoom in anywhere on this. Nicaragua, Honduras. Anybody can zoom in all the way to your area and see exactly what your rainfall totals is according to the GFS, also according to the Ural. And it also has your winds. So literally it's too far to be sure because it's not forming up on that second one for another 9 days. But it does show some potential winds coming towards northern Belize. And now this is coming from that first wave that is showing that it's going to curve in your direction, bring potentially 50, maybe even 60 miles per hour wind gusts so far in your direction. And this could get stronger. So please use these links if you need them. That way you can see exactly what to expect. Please share this amongst others over here in Central America. Let them know what's going on. 'Cause I know y'all don't get a lot of coverage, guys. And I am sorry for being a little quicker than normal. I just had so much information that I want to get out. There's so many people and all these threats that we do have for today, plus the tropics, that I really want as many people as possible to see this information. So please share this information. If this has helped you in any way or any of your loved ones in any way, please hit the like button. Help alert another. Help alert someone else's loved one that don't even know what's going on. Now, I have this on high resolution rapid refresh only for the 18 hours so we can see best what's come with this storm. And you can see it does have a lot of hail cores passing through all afternoon long. That is a nasty band of hail cores, especially around 2 and 3 p.m. And you can already see the bowing out in that. So I am going to be in the storms right here in Milwaukee. It looks like it's staying a little northern of me around 4 o'clock. But I will get this video out to you guys. Remember, I do have a generator, so if I lose power, regardless, this video is going to come out for y'all for the update to see what's going on. As well as the update, I will throw a little quick minute in there for your tornado threat for this afternoon. Okay, it looks like this is going all night long. Look at that. There's a nasty line of hail that's coming with that. And that's around 7 p.m. for Michigan. As it goes into later in the night, look at that. Hail all night long. This is going to be a nasty MCS. So please pay attention to this. Please share this information with others. Let them get prepared for this. This is going to be a nasty evening. At the same time, God bless all of you and keep you and your loved ones very safe through this evening. Because this is going to be some nasty storms with some very straight and damaging winds. So God bless you all. I'd like to sing a psalm for y'all. Give you a little words of encouragement from our Father, our God. He will always keep you safe, no matter what you see. It's nothing to him. Amen. Psalm 101. I will sing of mercy and judgment. Unto thee, O Lord, will I sing. I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. O when wilt thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave to me. A froward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. Whoso privately slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that hath an high look and a proud heart will not I suffer. Mine eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He that walketh in a perfect way, he shall serve me. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off all wicked doers from the city of the Lord. Amen. Thank you so much for visiting my channel today. I really hope y'all heed these warnings today. Thank you all that are helping out with this food that's going on for next month, because we are starting to build on that already. If you do want to help out, links are in the description. Make sure you post it for food. That way it can be for food. If you need my address, just email me. That's in the description as well. Every bit helps somebody. You know how it is when you don't have food. It's really terrible. So God bless you all that are helping. You really are making a difference in a lot of people's lives. And remember, most of all, above all things, all power, all glory, all honor does go to Yahweh, God of Jacob, our Father, the one and true Almighty. No matter what people say, he is the only one and true God, forever and ever. Amen. Hallelujah. Have a very blessed evening, everybody. Please stay safe. I will update for the tropics this afternoon.